Hi, it's Jen. Yeah, I thought I'd give you a call. Well, I'm just sitting here having a cup of tea. And I made some shortbread earlier. And then I thought I'd just catch up with you and say good day. It's winter solstice. So, hang on. Yeah, it's winter solstice. So it's really cold and really wet. And I thought I'd just throw together a little video. Yeah, all right. Does that sound like a good idea? It's just like random stuff that I've been doing in the last few days. And but we did go to the community bonfire, so that's in there. I hope I don't get done for copyright because the band was really good, and so I've included some of the music that they were playing. But otherwise, it's just like laundry, cooking, and drinking cups of tea. So I hope you're okay. I'm going to turn the video on now. I'll see you in there. Bye. Bye. Hello. Have you even moved from in here all day while I've been at work? I think you have been in you have been in here all day, which is listening to yoga music. It's all very zen in the studio this afternoon. It's so bleak outside. Yeah. Big stretch. Don't smooch the computer. We've already lost one computer that way. I learned the hard way that cats will bite a computer screen, and that kills the computer. What do you think, Harry? Yeah, it's good to be home. Come on. I'm just getting 55,000 layers on because we're heading up to the community bonfire for winter solstice. So layer upon layer upon layer, like those of you who remember like a Sara Lee pastry. So, ready to rock and roll. It's very, very cold out there. And I did forget to say that I will try and get some footage of the bonfire and stuff, but it'll depend on the light, of course, but we'll see how we go. Hey?
And once more, not for the future, but for memory. Warmth and what endures. Legend.
Comfortable there, Harry? Got enough coats and blankets to sit on? I was going to talk to you while I was down the street, but I forgot my phone. So it's Sunday morning and I'm feeling a bit shabby, to be honest. And it wasn't the mulled wine. It really wasn't. It was just a late night turned into a late night. Plus David's been getting up really early, like 4:30 for the bloody, that when they kick the ball around, what is it, the World Cup or something. Anyway, he's been getting up watching that, so that wakes me up and yada yada. So a bit sleep deprived, little tiny bit hungover from pretty full-on mulled wine. I will admit. But anyway, so the spirit is willing today. Like, I'd really love to do some art, but I just, the flesh is weak. So instead, I'm going to just make some shortbread. So I just had to go down the street and get some butter and then some other bits and bobs in here. Some of you might remember this. I made it from when I was making the curtains over there in the kitchen. Yes, I'm going to make some shortbread because I don't know about you, but I always want a biscuit when I have a cuppa. This is the thing. Like, I've been like that since I was about 12 and I really hate bought biscuits. There's something, I don't know, there's something about them, something same, and they just kind of feel a bit like I don't know what's in them. So I like to make my own bickies if I can. So I'm going to make some shortbread this afternoon, and then I might get some energy and do a bit of low-key, sort of just puddle around with some watercolour or something this afternoon, which would be nice. So that's my plan for a cold Sunday afternoon. But I couldn't, like, seriously, when you live in a small town, you get very parochial and you kind of get used to your own rhythms, and I just couldn't believe it. I went down the street, and it was packed. Like, there are people, it's 12 12:40 on a Sunday morning, and you couldn't get a park. Like, not even in the usual hidey places where I go. I had to actually practically park at home. It would have done me good to walk. I saw some of my neighbours walking, although one was driving. Anyway, yeah, I don't know. The event last night was pretty well attended. Like, they had a train from Castlemaine with 300 people on it that sort of plonked at 6 o'clock or 6:30, and then from then on there was more people pouring in. So there was a lot at the fire. Whether some of them were Airbnb or anyway, I'm rambling, aren't I? There's lots of people in town, and I'm not used to it. I'm used to going up, parking out front, getting what I want, going. And it's always when you feel a bit shabby and you just don't want to see anybody that there's people everywhere and you're avoiding people because you don't want to stand around and talk. They say that about a small town, a country town, like you're a local when you want to cross the road when you see somebody up ahead. And it's not necessarily because you don't like them. Actually, it's not, very rarely is it that. It's usually just because you haven't got time for 15-minute chat, which is what, you nick into town. It takes you 3 minutes to get into town, but it takes you, 15 to 20 minutes to talk to each person that you know as you walk along the street. So anyway, time to make some shortbread and put another load of washing on. The clothes horse is already groaning. We put the clothes horse underneath the split system so that it gets the hot air blown onto it. And then the other second clothes horse we'll put by the fire tonight when we light the fire. They're round and round we go trying to get things dry in the winter. But eventually we do. It sort of sorts itself out. Do you have a laundry in your house? I'm always really interested in laundries. I know that European laundries, as we call them in Australia, are sort of becoming more and more common. And I know that I think in America they might in some cases call them utility rooms. But yeah, our laundry is on the back veranda, and I love laundries. I think laundries, especially if you've got a family and children, I reckon laundries and kitchens just have to work perfectly. And laundries are just so multi-purpose, and our laundry has a second toilet in it as well. And it's just great for storage and all little bits and pieces that you need that don't really need to be in the house as such, and a wash trough, and which is, handy for hand washing and for all sorts of random stuff. So, yeah, I think laundries are great. If I was a designer, I would always prioritise laundries, separate laundries, just for family life.
Rosa rugosa all the way along here now, and it just looks beautiful. There's more over there as well, but I can't get to them at the moment. So I'm just going to take some of these roses. Beautiful Rosa rugosa. So many applications for rose. I've just used some rose water that I made on sunburn and insect bites, and it was so cooling and took down inflammation. It was excellent. But I want the rose petals for tea. Some teas that you might take medicinally may not be very tasty. They might put you off taking them as a medicine. So if you put something like rose in, you're just improving the taste and making people more keen to take their medicine than they would be.
somewhere tonight in the